Jeopardy! Fans are already looking forward to the eventual premiere of Season 42 of the popular game show. However, based on the latest updates making the rounds, there are some major changes coming to the upcoming new season that fans of the show won't like. So what are they? Jeopardy! Has been going strong for many years. Jeopardy! Is its own cultural phenomenon. While game shows are a dime a dozen, the true test for any game show is whether or not it can stand the test of time. With countless game shows coming and going, only a select few stick around for decades and become part of the public lexicon. Along with other popular game shows like Wheel of Fortune, Family Feud, and The Price is Right, Jeopardy! Is still going strong, and with the popular program set to premiere Season 42 in the fall, a lot of fans are already looking for Ken Jennings and crew to make that return. Season 42 officially premieres on Monday, September 8th, 2025. Jeopardy! Ken Jennings' major changes coming to Season 42. What are they? With Season 42 of Jeopardy! On the horizon, there are some major changes coming to the beloved program that some viewers may not like. One major change is that there will be a lot more sponsored categories as part of the show. Sponsored categories often feature actors and other celebs reading out a clue based on their upcoming film or project. An insider recently spoke to the US Sun about these sponsored categories, which fans of the show have been very vocal about in their dislike of them. The insider said producers know that's not popular with fans, and quite frankly, a lot of the production team doesn't like it either. Ken Jennings. YouTube Jeopardy! Fans have openly criticized sponsored categories. While this type of cross-promotion is certainly good for revenue and the overall brand of the game, it's no secret that Jeopardy! Fans hate these types of plugs as many watchers feel it interrupts the flow of the game. Unfortunately, there will be more of this when the game show returns with Season 42, Ken Jennings on Jeopardy! Speaking of these sponsored categories, one game show fan said, "It does bug me a bit when they finish the category and then the host says, 'And you can watch X out in theaters this Friday.' Feels dirty, man." A second commenter added, "It's almost always a Sony Pictures tie-in, since Sony owns and produces Jeopardy! And they're going to use some of that marketing spend on something with as big an audience as Jay." A third person wrote, "The only thing that really bugs me about it is that they seem obligated to go through all the questions in the sponsored categories in a round, but they're often longer video clues that eat up time. There are usually a few questions on the board at the end of any rounds with sponsored categories. What do you think about these sponsored categories coming back? Let us know in the comments below." The quiet intensity of a Jeopardy! Showdown. The frantic scanning of the board, the strategic wagers, the crisp delivery of answers in the form of a question has been a revered television ritual for over 4 decades. But as America's premier quiz show prepares to launch its 42nd season on Monday, September 8th, 2025, a storm is brewing among its legion of devoted fans. The source of their discontent? A reported and significant increase in one of the program's most controversial elements, sponsored categories. According to insider reports, the upcoming season will feature a heavier reliance on these integrated promotional segments, a decision that has laid bare the tension between the show's celebrated intellectual purity and the modern television industry's relentless commercial pressures. This move, confirmed by a production insider to the US Sun, is being implemented despite producers' awareness that it is deeply unpopular with fans, and even unpopular with much of the production team itself. The anatomy of a sponsored category. Why fans are crying foul for the casual viewer. A sponsored category might seem like a minor, if slightly jarring, commercial break within the game itself. Unlike traditional categories like world capitals or Shakespearean plays, these are explicitly tied to a corporate product, most often a forthcoming Sony Pictures film or a Sony-owned television series. The category is typically introduced by a pre-recorded video of a celebrity, such as an actor from the movie, who then proceeds to read each clue directly to the contestants. While this practice of cross-promotion is not new to Jeopardy! Or to television at large, the decision to amplify its presence has struck a nerve with the show's passionate and vocal fan base. The criticism is not a single complaint, but a multi-pronged argument against what fans see as a degradation of the Jeopardy! Experience. The core fan grievances. More than just a commercial. The backlash, vividly displayed across social media platforms and fan forums, centers on 3 primary issues. The breach of sanctity, Jeopardy! Has long held a unique position in the cultural landscape as a temple of knowledge. Its appeal lies in its straightforward, unadorned celebration of intellect. The introduction of a blatant marketing pitch, often capped by the host adding, "And you can watch the film, out in theaters this Friday," feels to many like a violation of this sacred space. As one fan succinctly put it, "Feels dirty? Man." This sentiment echoes the feeling that the show's integrity is being auctioned off, 30 seconds at a time. The disruption of gameplay flow. Perhaps the most tangible complaint revolves around the mechanics of the game itself. Sponsored categories almost exclusively use video clues, which are inherently longer to execute than a host simply reading a clue from a card. This consumption of precious seconds frequently results in the dreaded unfinished board. "There are often longer video clues that eat up time," noted one frustrated viewer. There are usually a few questions on the board at the end of any rounds with sponsored categories. For a show where every clue left uncovered can potentially change the outcome of the game and the fate of a contestant's winnings, this is more than an annoyance. It's a fundamental alteration of the competitive landscape. The blatant corporate synergy. Fans are also keenly aware of the corporate machinery at work. As one commenter astutely identified, it's almost always a Sony Pictures tie-in, since Sony owns and produces Jeopardy. This in-house promotion, while financially logical for the conglomerate, removes any pretense of the segment being a natural part of the show. It reinforces the feeling that viewers are not just watching a game, but are being subjected to a mandatory corporate marketing meeting disguised as entertainment. A clash between commerce and culture. Insider's confession that a lot of the production team doesn't like it either reveals a significant internal conflict. It paints a picture of a creative team caught between their artistic and editorial standards for the show and the commercial mandates from above. This admission, while validating fan frustration, also underscores the economic realities of producing a daily syndicated program in the 2020s. As traditional advertising models evolve, integrated marketing becomes an increasingly vital revenue stream. The central question facing Jeopardy, as it marches into season 42, is one of balance. How much commercial integration can a legacy show built on a foundation of intellectual respect withstand before it begins to erode the very qualities that made it beloved? The fans, with their meticulously reasoned critiques, have drawn their line in the sand. They have identified the sponsored categories not merely as commercials, but as elements that actively disrupt the pace, fairness, and intellectual spirit of the game. As Ken Jennings prepares to return to the podium this fall, he will be presiding over a program at a crossroads. The increased use of sponsored categories represents a clear, if reluctant, choice by the producers to prioritize financial viability. The vocal, organized backlash from its audience is a powerful plea to protect its soul. The ultimate answer, it seems, will not be found in a clue on the board, but in whether the show's stewards decide to listen to the very people who have sustained it for 41 seasons.